Hello my friends, welcome back to the Legacy of the Void Randomizer. We are moving into the campaign proper, and that means that I am going to be filled with fear proper. Let's let's get this going and see exactly how it works out. I am very, very, very potentially afraid of what is going to be happening in this mission, simply because I think it's going to depend a lot on what Colossus variant we get. If we're getting Fire Colossus or Thors or stuff like that, we're going to be good. If we get Eradicators, they got buffed, but they're going to, I don't know. Ultras, stuff like that could be a little bit down too, because then they're going to be frontline tanks. All right, 4-Ire. Show me what you got. Warp in these units and find a little bit of happiness in life. Please, 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 please don't be too bad. Just a little bit of goodness in my life is all that I ask for.
The reclamation of Ire is underway.
Let's see what we get.
We are preparing to siege the warp network at Karasan now.
Well done, Celeste.
Hey, some Warhounds. I'm really concerned about the lack of tanking.
Our forces will strike as one across the surface of Ire.
Okay,
The Templar.
let's go. Wait,
What can it do?
I warped in more. They changed. In between,
Warriors,
there was,
awaits you. March forth and take it.
okay. It definitely changed. Okay, all right. So what do we got? We got a Cyclone. We can use a Cyclone to hit this and then start pulling things forward. I wanted to pull things forward. I think I'm going to have to make good use of this Cyclone throughout the entire mission in order to pull the enemies into smaller groups and then take them out. Cyclones are really good at that, and this is going to be a tough one besides that. Let's be a little bit careful with this dude, and now we got to take down these spines. Unfortunately, our Reapers do not have the anti-structure grenade, which is a bit sad. 2 Archons and an Aberration is a lot of tanking prowess, though.
I have diverted some Colossi
Oh,
to
we
join
got-
your forces. Use them well, Artanis.
Got 2 Eradicators. Yeah, we got 2 of them. It's good. That's good. I did get a Wrathwalker, though, and you know what? The Reaver is going to be pretty solid as well. Wrathwalker is going to be able to punch through these sorts of forces without any issue. Reaver is going to take a couple shots in order to get everything working, but besides that, I believe it does it do extra damage versus structures? I do not remember. And I can't check right now. But let's try saving up these shots, taking down these spore crawlers, and just trying to retain units in these early stages. Yeah, 150 versus structure is very nice. Okay, let's do this. Gonna be an ultra right here. We'll pull back, try to target. Get him down, and the roaches are not a big issue. The Corpser roach is actually going to be huge. I know I just said roach is not a big issue, but my roaches are going to be a big issue for the enemy. If it can get into range to fire. It might just be stuck behind Quilgore the entire time.
There is a Zerg hive cluster near your walls. If possible.
All right, let's take these bad boys down and keep moving on forward. Careful. Oh, gosh. Mr. Archon, you need to not die. You are very important. No, Mr. Roachington! I tried to burrow him, but alas, he was too slow.
Channel's clear, boss.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr. Roachington. Every time that I get a Corpus of Roach, I'm like, oh, this is going to be really good to have. And then it just dies. 100% of the time. Well, this guy does do his 175 versus structure, so he can take these down real quick, and then we're going to get a nice little group of guys at this hive to help things out. That's going to be pretty good. A little bit more power. Now, I wanted to talk about bonus objectives. This is a bonus objective, of course, and things are not quite how they're going to be. If you remember in Heart of the Swarm, you would get some of the more special units, the ones that you couldn't normally get, such as the Nerazim DT or the Nerazim Void Ray or Guardians, just stuff that is a little too powerful to randomly roll. I don't know why I included Guardians in that list. They're not really that good. But you know what I mean. Arbiters is another good example. Things that you can't... rolling normally would just completely invalidate the entire mission. But having one or two of is okay. And you would get those from the bonuses in Heart of the Swarm. Now, that is not implemented yet into this. However, it will be. So, for this mission, and I believe probably the next mission, we will not have it. I'm hoping that for Spear of Adun, mission number 3, we will. And if not, it will be at least in progress for the mission after that. We just want to make sure that we get some of the cool stuff, you know? Ooh, I'm really running low on troops here. The Banelings and stuff, the Zerglings, the Zealots that you get are normally just not that great anyway. However, when they get turned into Banelings, they're even lower viability. We really got to be careful here. What is the range? Only 5. I thought these Eradicators were being buffed. Maybe they did get buffed. Maybe they were even worse before. Overall, they're pretty bad and need a little bit of help, you know? I feel like if they did 10 times 2 damage, they would be completely fair still. They'd be firing pretty quick and dealing some solid damage at that point. This is like 12.
As you command.
2 warp conduits remain in the grip of the Zerg.
Okay.
Ready yourselves, brethren. We move for victory.
Okay, my guy just transformed. I'm not sure he's supposed to do that. My Eradicators turned into Immortals, I think. All right. I'll take it. This is actually a really good time to get this Blightbringer because there's a bunch of Banelings up
There
here.
are more hives in the surrounding
And then we can go...
area. Destroying them will deal the Zerg a crippling blow.
This is a good use of my forces. Wonderful. And then we can move on forward, and there is going to be some problems. We do have a Wrathwalker still, which is great. That transformation was very weird. I can't imagine that was intended. It must be some little quirk of how things are built. Ooh, a Diamondback. That is some good damage right there. And an Archon. Very nice finds. I'm super happy about that.
Allow us to join you in battle.
Where'd the soldier come from? Pretty good as well. And during all that, we can go like that. Move these guys forward. Get the Stinky Lisk to do his stinky thing. It's actually going to put out some stinky damage.
Warriors, annihilate it.
And then we're going to start just clearing stuff over here with these guys who are going to be pretty darn good, I think.
This hive
The Corpse of Roach, once again. This time it's okay if he dies because he has a timed life. So he's going to live until he expires. As is tradition. Let's keep firing this. If we get multiple Blightbringers at some point, they seem so good. Absolutely monstrous. The ability to toss those eggs down en masse are going to be so strong. Either way, we're making good progress. I'm pretty happy with the way that things are going. Keep throwing the eggs. And at this point, the frontline buffer is pretty nice. The Pigolisks are underrated. They have that 2 armor. 2 armor is huge at this stage of the game. The small arms fire of stuff like Zerglings barely damages these thick lads. I love them. And I wanna have one as a pet. And you can't take that away from me. I mean, you can take away the option of it, but not my desire. So, we got the final hive, or not the final hive. There's going to be one more hive that I always forget about down here. But besides that, everything is going well. I'm scared we're going to get transformed again. Because the units that I have right now are great. I'm really happy with them. Oh, I don't want that to happen. This is so frightening. I'm going to lose everything that I've worked for. Blightbringer. Oh, Mr. K is awesome. Did tell me something that Blightbringer does have an attack if you click the enemy. Yeah, get him. Wow, that sure doesn't do much. It's got a long range. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. All right, I'll take it. Don't change. You're perfect the way you are.
Matrix signal confirmed. Reinforcements warping in at your location.
Not sure I wanted a Quilgore Alpha to be the replacement for my Ultralisk. Not sure I wanted that at all, game. That seems like a bit of a downgrade. Oh good, the Blightbringer's an Eradicator too. Well, this just got harder. Things were going so well. Alright, this brood is coordinated. Get some of the Banelings blasting their stuff down. We do not have a whole lot of damage output for these enemies. Try to target down the Ultras so they don't break into my forces. Do not die. Oh, he died. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to get some more forces now. The Wrathwalker is nice to have one of, but you want that big AoE clearing potential too. The Ultra does that well, and the Reaver did it well, and the Fire Colossus did it well. But this is one of the few ones on this tier that doesn't have anything like that. So we're going to be careful here once again. They do have the good, strong attacks against those Mutas, though. Really, really nice. Because usually it's kind of hard to... Not hard, but it's annoying to kill Mutas on this mission. Because the only anti-air you really have are the Stalkers. And as everyone knows, Stalkers kind of suck. Here's our last group of guys. Now, in order to... Did I just roll... How many Swarmlings did I roll? This is not the endgame army I was looking for. I wanted something a bit chunkier, you know? Or maybe a little bit of Banelingage for the guys coming out of these Niduses. Alright, we're going to be able to take these down. We got to rotate back. And theoretically, the Wrathwalkers will be very good against the final hybrid, as will the Diamondbacks if they survive. We're just going to wait the Niduses out, Diamondbacks, if they survive. That was okay. We didn't lose too much. Most of our army is ranged at this point. And ranged is going to be easier to control against these high-powered enemies at the end. We're still losing stuff. We have a decent amount of infantry, but there's just so many enemies. One thing that I do believe would be very nice is currently it's just a 1-for-1 swap of units. But in these no build segments, I think that we gotta be adding a couple support units. So things like the Sentry that restores shields, or the Queen, Medic, or even just the Havoc or Energizer in order to increase the ability of the combat units. That would add a little bit more stability to the roles, I think. And I think randomness is good, but it needs to be stable randomness, not super erratic. We're going to be able to do this, though. It's feeling okay. Where do you guys come from? Oh. And none of those guys are actually that useful. They all would have died up here anyway. It's just a lot more Swarmlings. Okay, let's try to ruin this guy's career. And the Eradicator actually has been doing some great tanking so far. He's going to fall. We're going to move this up to take down the Guardian. And then there's not a whole lot more on my side, which is the bad part. Yeah, this mission is probably a bit overtuned, given that the randomizer is ideally a bit easier than the normal brutal difficulty, just for accessibility's sake, and to control for variance. And this is a bit kooky, a bit crazy. It may just be that I got unlucky with these double Wrathwalkers, though. I do see a world where it would have been much, much easier in order to clear if I had any AoE whatsoever ever. I'm going to save this Annihilator shot to try to help with the hybrid. And besides that, we are going to Wrathwalk everything. Use what tools you've been given, right? They coming? They're not. Not at all. Take down the Zerglings. That's that. No, Roachlings! How could you? betrayed. Hey, not betrayed. Now what I'm going to do is use a tactic known as kind of wiggle near them to try to pull them. Yeah, we only got 2. Perfect. They keep retreating. Get the Annihilator in the back. He does bonus damage. Do we have an Adept? I don't think so. And this is a victory. We got it. Yeah, definitely a couple support units would really turn the tide and I think make it a little bit better. So I'm going to suggest that to Gertie unless anybody else has an idea they could work with that. It definitely is not impossible by any means, but it's just not quite exactly there on the balance that we're looking for, I think. All right, though. I had a pretty good time. I thought it was fun. 0 units killed by Colossus. I am such a loser. I can't believe I didn't manage it. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Usually we do a double feature for the first couple missions, but this one took a bit long time instead of the 2 minutes that 4i usually is. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.